in today's live breakdown, we're going to be looking at a Chris Stapleton tune, Devil Always Make Me Think Twice. So let me play you the tune so you know what we're going into, and then, yeah, let's break it down. Here we go.
Take a little smoke in the evening, take a little whiskey on ice. I never get behind killing my mind. It's just the kind of things I like, just the kind of things I like.
All right. Yeah, that's such an awesome tune. So what do you start off with? Let me play it for you first. So this is the riff. So I'll give you an overview here. So you get So the backbone of this entire riff is in these double stops on the D and G string. So that is in 10, 7, 5, and then the slide back up to 7, right? Now, this one here starts on the and of 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and, right? Then you get 2 bass notes. So on the low E, by the way, the E is tuned down to D. I forgot to mention that. So E is tuned down to D. So you get and 1, and then you get 7 to 5. And then that slide up. So you get and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then once you've played 7, after you play open E, then you play 5, you play open E again, and then we get that slide up. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. And, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the next part of that riff is this. Right? So what you do is you're in third position here. You play index finger A3, hammer on to 5, and then you play open G. Then you play that E bass string, and then you play D in 3, pull off to open, and then the bass string once more. So you get, right? So let's put these two together, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, So already we have the first loop sort of put together. Now there is another thing in this tune that we have to talk about, and that is how we're going to be playing it. So this riff is played with the fingers, and some of the stuff that he plays is pretty easy to see. Hey, Fly. But in other moments, it's like I'm wondering, is he playing with certain strings with the thumb? Is he playing it with the fingers? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present you with a couple of options, and then it's up to you what you do with it, I guess. So with the first part, that's going to be pretty straightforward. So let me show you like this. So what you do is the D and G, you're going to be playing with your index finger and middle finger. Then the bass is going to be done with the thumb. So you get, right? Then fingers, thumb, fingers, thumb, fingers, slide. Again. Right? I don't think I would do that any other way than that. The differences are going to be once he hits the next part of the riff. So the next part of the riff is the, right? So now here you might wonder like which strings are being done with the thumb. So one option would be to keep the index finger and the middle finger for your D and G here. And then the thumb is going to be playing the E and A strings, right? So, like that. Let me show you like this. Maybe that's a little bit easier because then you have both left and right hand. So you get like that. Okay. The other way for this part of the riff is that you keep your thumb for the E string, right? But then index finger for the A string, middle finger for D, and ring finger for G. So in that case, if you would do that, you would play the A string with your index, make that hammer on, then ring finger would play G, then you play E with your thumb, and then, and then middle finger would play D, and then you get your thumb again, right? So this has got a lot to do with preference and your background as a player. And I want to explain that a little bit quickly. So if you're a finger picker, right, and you do these these Travis picking like things, of course, right? You're kind of used to using your thumb, index finger, and middle finger, and sort of the thumb switching between the bass strings. If you're having more of a classical guitar background, or that's how you've been taught, maybe for you it makes much more sense to use thumb, index finger, middle finger, and ring finger, right? So some people want to stay really true to what the artist is doing. But I think sometimes it's good to make things a little easier on yourself and just use whatever really makes sense to you. Yeah, it's just a thought, you know, it's just a thought. Anyways, so if we put it all together with the picking, then this is what we'll get. And what I'll do is I'll add a beat, and I'll ask Josh to play along. Josh is my favorite drummer. Let's do this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's mute that. Okay, so let's move on to the next bit. So you have a couple of repeats. Oh, Jerry, you're here. So just before I forget, Jerry, can you do your guitar lesson at 1:45 p.m. today? Thank you. Just leave it in the comments. Otherwise, I'll contact you later. Sorry, I had to do that. So let's see. Yeah, so after a couple of repeats, and this is pretty common with a riff, you have sort of like 3 repeats, and then the 4th time it ends in a little different way, sort of to make it, I don't know, sort of to close off a section. So how do they do it here? So, or how does Chris do it here? So you got... So that's all the same. So normally he would play the open E string again. But in this case, it goes like this. Right? So you get 3rd of D to a pull-off, 3rd of A to a pull-off, and then you get your index finger barring 3rd position of your E, A, and D string, and you play E, A, D, and then to open A. So then you slide into 5th position. So you bar it again. You slide into the 5th position, right? And you play E, A, D, A, but that A is now 5th position like that. So let me show you like this. So we have pull off, then that bar in 3rd, open A, then slide into 5th, like that. Okay? So that riff, 3, 4. Yeah. So once you've done that, so you get this, you get, so you play 2 bass notes, then 3rd of A, pull off to open, back to 3rd, open D, open E, right? So let's try that. So 3, 4. Right? And then we get into the next section. Great, Jerry. Great that you can do that. So then we get into the next section. But before I do that, I do want to address the picking here as well. So let's go to my picking hand view. So you have the... So either, in this case, you have your thumb A, hammer on, then middle finger G, then thumb E, and then you would play index finger D, pull off, then thumb for the A string, pull off, right? Then you would have here, thumb, thumb, index, open, thumb, 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 index, thumb, right? So let me play this version with both my left and picking hand in view. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. All right. So now we get to the verse section, and the verse section is a little bit different. So instead of having all that all that riffy stuff going on. It's much more playing the chord. And I guess that's being done to create a little bit more space. So let's listen to it. Let's see if I can bring it right up to the place where he starts singing. Oh yeah, this is turnaround.
Take a little smoke in the evening, take a little whiskey on ice. I never get behind, killing my mind. It's just the kind of things I like, just the kind of things I like.
Yeah, so what you can hear here is that he isn't playing all that riffy stuff in between. So he's just sticking to the chord. So this is basically what he is doing. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? That's kind of the groove that he's playing. So how does that work? So what you're doing here is the beginning is the same. So you're playing, so this one on the and of 4, then 2 bass notes. Then you're playing 7, bass, 5, bass, right? So, and then you play that 5 again, slide up to 7, so. Now here it comes. So you play bass, bass, chord, bass, bass, chord, bass. So. Right, let's do that again. 3, 4. Bass, bass, chord, bass, bass, chord, bass. And then you go back to here. Keep playing. Right? Then the 4th time, the ending is a little bit different of this one. So I get so you get bass, bass, chord, bass, bass, chord, bass, bass. Then you get the ending riff. Right? As you would per usual, so. And then you go back to the main riff, all right? So let's play this, and I'll give you my hands-on view, and let's do this together with my drummer, Josh. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's turn that off. All right, so now let's see what is up next. So hold on. It's because now we're going into the second verse. Second verse is the same. And then after the second verse, the ending is slightly different, I would say. Yeah, let's just have a look. Oh, this is something I forgot. We'll talk about it later. Yes. Okay. So, before I forgot, I forgot to say that after the first verse, you get the interlude. Interlude is exactly the same as your intro. So I forgot to mention that. Then it goes back into the verse. And then at the end of the verse, there is a little bit of a repeat. So I just want to go back to that. Yeah. So you get at the end. So let's do that last bit of it. So again. Right. So you repeat that last bit of the riff. You play it twice. So this part. So where we play. So this would be what is that? That would be an F chord to a G, and then you do it again. F. And then you sort of get a transition into this chord here, the G chord, where he's kind of doing the, what is it? I guess the start of the chorus or pre-chorus. So what you do, I'm sorry, my brain just went completely blank. So, oh yeah, so you get that bass note. So let me give you an overview here. So you got the bass note, then third of A, play A again in third, open D. So then you get, so basically going in between bass note and D string. So that is bass, bass, D, bass, bass, D. Bass, bass, D, bass, bass, D. Maybe I should show you like this. Right? So you have. Then what you do is you go into a G chord. It's just a power chord, but he's kind of strumming it here. And it goes like this. Says, hold on. Let me just make sure I do this correctly. Yeah, so the rhythm that kind of stands out is, and I'll just say it as I'm playing it. So it's like down, up, up, down, 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 up, up, down, 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 up, up, down, 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 up, up, down, down. And then you get a bass note, and then you go back in this part, right? Yeah. So after that part, you indeed go here. But that is sort of the verse variation of it. So that is bass, bass, chord, bass, bass, chord, bass, bass. Right? Then we go back into that turnaround. But made short, so you get like that. So on the second one, you end on that D5. Okay? So that last bit, so you got there. And then we get the lick here. Yeah. So, well, actually, let's look at this. Yeah. So this is played in 10th position. So we have our minor pentatonic scale there. So let me just quickly show you. But of course, because our E string is tuned to D, it's a little bit different. So normally, if you would really stick to so you would do index finger on the E12, pinky on E15, and then you would have to switch to the A string, and there it would be 10, 12, D, 10, 12, G, 10, 12, B, 10, 11, 13, and then E, 10, 13 as well. So, but he doesn't really use that E string much. It just slides to the bass note, but he doesn't use that 15th position as much. So that's probably good to know. So let's start with that pickup. So that one. Oh, like that. So what do you do? So that is on 12 on G. I guess it's a semitone bend. Let's listen to it. It's a full tone bend. So that is G12 full tone, back to G12, then 10, 12, 10. Then D12, D10, and then a grace note slide towards A10, sorry. That index finger, 8, and then ring finger slides from 10 to 12 on the E string. So I get, like that. I'm still doing it. I'm so used to that note being in 10th position that I keep forgetting that I have to slide towards it in 12. I'll show you my picking hand here. Like this, and then, but I'm not going to go over, so you'll have to determine for yourself how you want to do that. I'm doing most of this with my thumb and my index finger, so. Right? Okay, so now let's listen to, what else he has to do. Oh, wait a second, maybe like this. Okay, so you have here, you have these two hammer-ons, so that is D 10 to 12, and then G 10 to 12. Then you play 10, 10, and then on the D string, 12, 12, 12, so. Okay, so let's listen on. Yeah, so you get D12, then to the G string, 10, 12, bend to 10, 12, 10, and then 12, 12 on D. So. Okay. Okay, so here. So what you do here is you slide from G12, grace note slide towards 14, keep that ring finger on there, and then you add your middle finger on 13, creating that minor third interval there, right? And you pluck them both, so. Then a grace note slide from 14 to 12 to 10, 12, 10, and then on the D string, 12, pull off to 10, and then ring finger 12 on A, so. Okay, let's hear what the next part is. Okay. Something like that. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, so you get... So you get, basically, you just walk up that minor pentatonic scale. So that is A12, D10, 12 to G10, 12, 10. And then you get a pre-bend on that 12 and an instant like release down. So, right? Then you play 10, 12, 10, 12, 12 on D, right? Okay, so let's go over that one more time. And what I'll do is I'll give you a hands-on view so you can get my picking in there as well. So let's see. Okay, so here, let's see. Hold on. Okay, so what you do here is you're sort of in that second position of your pentatonic scale here. So I'll just share with you like the top part of it. So that is. So that is D12 and 15, G12 and 14, B13 and 15, and E13 and 15. So what he's doing is he is playing E13 and then making that grace note hammer on 15. Then back to 13 and then B15. So then again he plays B15 to E13, 15, and then again that hammer on. Okay, so we get like that. Okay, so let's see what comes after it. All right, that's a bit murky. So sorry, you're not seeing much right now, are you? So. I wonder if that is what it is. Yeah, I think so. We'll stick to that for now. So after that part, so what you get is a grace note, slide down towards 12 on G with your ring finger to index finger 10, then D12 with a ring finger. Then index finger is going to play that 10th position on D, slide up to 12. So then you turn that into one of those double stops and you play G12 as well. So with the other one still sounding, and then you drag it back down to 10. So you get, right? And then you get that nice sort of harmony sounding. Then what I think he kind of plays is he's just playing open G, D, A, and then open E string. And in case you hadn't noticed yet, I'm still referring to it as an E string, even though it is a D. You'll like tune down to D because otherwise things would just get way too complicated. So, and I'm noticing I don't have the correct screen in view here. So you get that grace note slide down. Like that. All right, that's a little bit of a tricky one. That's a little bit of a tricky one. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let's do that again. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to slow this one down a little bit to make sure. Excuse me. Whoa. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is a tricky one. So I'll give you this view here so you see what I'm working on. Okay, I think this is kind of it. Let's try. Oh, come on. Yeah, there's something going on, but it's just not really clear to me. Seems to go to the high one here. Kinda. Okay, so we're gonna do some educational guessing here, I guess. Yeah, like that. Okay, so here is what I think it's pretty much. I'll have a little bit of a closer listen maybe later, and then I will definitely share that on my in my Patreon tab. So what he's doing here is starting with a bend with the ring finger on 12 on the G, then index finger, B10 to E10. Then I'm guessing index finger or ring finger in 13 of both B and E. So, and then you could make a pull off to 10 and of B and E again. So then, so you get 13 on G, slide to 12 to 10, pull off. So then D12 to G12, G10. So then we get G12, 10, D12, 10, then B10 and G10. So a double stop back to D12. So right? Kinda like that. Kinda like that. I'm not sure if I can play that at full speed right now. That's pretty close. And that was not full speed, of course. That's like 50% of the speed. And then he goes back into the riff. So let's go to the start of the solo. Let's see what we got. So I'll give you my hands-on view, and let's do this. Ah, come on. I want to do the whole thing. I want to do the whole thing. All right. That's until there. So now there's now we get into the outro section of the tune. Well, just do the whole thing. Yeah, I was kind of surprised how quickly we're going through this. Yeah, and you know the thing is that there isn't a whole lot happening like chatty wise, so I figured like, well, I guess I'll just keep going, and maybe people are just like into it. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, so that section there. Sorry about that. There was just a fly. It just tried to. Thought I'd like. I just sort of blow it off, but then I well, I didn't realize. Yeah, so in that last bit where he's doing the repeats, I think this is a good. So. Yeah, so I think what he's doing there is the following. So let's, so this is all just open string. So I'm just going to give you my picking hand view. So it's kind of, so that is bass and then A and D together, like bass, chord, bass, bass, chord, bass. So, what is it? Yeah, so bass, chord, bass, bass, chord, bass, bass, chord. Yeah. I guess it's sort of like the earlier riff kind of in reverse, in a way. So bass, chord, bass, bass, chord, bass, bass, chord, bass, chord, bass, bass, chord, bass, bass, chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so. Yeah, and then we have those two chords, F to G. Yeah, so again. So you got down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. Right? So yeah. And then it goes back into sort of the main riff. Hey, darn it. Yeah. Yeah, so the ending is just the main riff. And then at some point, kind of the band just sort of takes a step back and then it really features that riff at the end as it does in the beginning. And then just finishing on. And then just finishing on the low E string, and that's it. I really do enjoy this tune. And I'll tell you about just a quick story. So I think I know how I got into his songs because a long time ago Adele released a tune. Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can find it this way. So that's Chris Stapleton, Adele. If It Hadn't Been for Love. If It Hadn't Been for Love. And then I realized, like, wait a second, Adele didn't, well, maybe that's like natural, but Adele didn't write that tune. So then it was like, but who did? And then it was Chris Stapleton. So I was like, huh. And then I looked him up, and then I found this this version of it.
Now it is.
It's. I mean, the sound isn't great. But that was the first time that I heard him sing it, and I was like, holy moly!
If any of you bought the 20 over in this was on it. Never would have hitchhiked to Birmingham if it hadn't been for love. Never would have caught the train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have run through the blinding rain without $1 to my name. If it hadn't been for love.
Oh, man.
Never would have seen the trouble that I'm in if it hadn't been for love. Would have been gone like a wayward wind if it hadn't been for love. Nobody knows it better than me. I wouldn't be wishing I was free if it hadn't been for love.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I just get goosebumps listening to it. It's crazy.
At least I know she's lying still.
Oh my God.
Without parole, Lord have mercy on my soul.
It's so funny. Like, I listen to it and I get goosebumps again. And I get that with a lot of his music. It's just when he starts singing, it's just, I don't know, it triggers something in me that I think in a way very few people do. And I love playing the guitar. It's my instrument, but I would do anything I would sell my soul to sing like that. Oh my goodness, that must be. And it's kind of funny to see the woman sitting next to him. I don't know. If I'd be sitting next to him, I would just have a smile on my face that you couldn't fit that on this camera. It's just, it would be, yeah. I don't know. I think I'd be crying or something. Because it's just so... Hey, oh, that's awesome. You enjoy the Dancing in the Burning Room videos. Yeah. Maybe you should redo them sometime but that's another one of those things, like some of those John Mayer tunes, those trio where he plays with the trio, and I think the Slow Dancing in the Burning Room is one of those. The musicianship in that, it's like, you can just hear and feel that you're dealing with incredible musicians who are playing things in the moment. And it's the same here. He sits down and he doesn't play music, he becomes music. When John Mayer starts playing his stuff, he doesn't play music, he becomes music. And I'm super envious of that, because it's not an easy thing to do, to really sort of have all of that, you're singing and playing and all of it meld together and it just becomes one thing. I think in that sense, I kind of see like Chris Stapleton and John Mayer as in a way similar, even though they're like completely different styles. But yeah, I could go on into John Mayer as well and show you stuff that I think is pretty amazing. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's I don't know what it is. And you know, there is so much soul into in Chris Stapleton's voice, and he can really let it rip, but he can also make it small. And then, for instance, with John Mayer, it's kind of funny that we end up on a almost like a comparison between the two. Not really a comparison, but like what are the similarities? What I think is really amazing about John Mayer's playing is that there's stuff that he plays on his guitar that you really have to study. Like Neon would be one of those tunes. You really have to study that as a guitar player to play it properly. And then he does it, and then he sings over it, like phrases it so nicely. It's almost bizarre. And that is, I guess, what I mean with being being one with the music, being the music. Because if you are playing music, they're still sort of separate things, but I guess with these artists, these things just come together really nicely. Yeah. But anyways, that is a really cool tune to play. I have a tutorial on it. It's just the Adele version because I knew the Adele version first. This one is a little bit easier to play because it's in A minor. The other one is in C minor. But yeah, definitely an amazing artist. Maybe I'll do some more of his stuff. So yeah, wow, that's a funny twist at the end. I never thought I'd get there. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna do another live stream, and that is that going to be my last one? Yeah, that is going to be my last one of July. I'm not going to do a live stream on Thursday because then I'm going to be packing for our trip. So yeah, so tomorrow is the last time for a while that we can chat together. So hopefully you're there. So tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you there. I have no clue what I'm going to do yet, but we'll turn it into something fun. All right? Have a good one, and hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.